Hello, hello! Long time no see. Yep, I know, my previous video mysteriously vanished from my channel for some reasons. But I promise I won't repeat the same things today. Just several facts, tiny ones, a handful. But okay, let's not beat around the bush. It's been 1 year, a whole year of me teaching at the university. As you might remember, I'm not just an English teacher anymore. I have stepped into teaching Spanish. At the beginning of the year, I was confused but excited about teaching two foreign languages at once. But now, it's not longer a challenge. It has become my passion and a huge upgrade. That's why I'm filming this video, to capture my reflections and to recall the best and the worst moments. So, here we go. It's an open secret that I was anxious and scared at the beginning. Even as an English teacher, I was nervous about my very first lesson with first year students. I knew I had to impress them to get them excited about the course and the university, as first impressions matter. So I prepared some games, some discussions to get to know each other better, but I kept worrying that the questions might seem silly. But to top it all off, I wore my new high heels on the first day, which caused some issues too. But thank God, neither nerves nor high heels ruined the day. We clicked with my group and became friends immediately. And then came Spanish. My very first lesson was in September, room 221 with group 32B. My hands were shaking, voice barely audible, knees weak, but we did it. The students enjoyed the lesson. I enjoyed the process. It was a perfect match. Then, that same spark I had with three more groups, who honestly are the most persistent people I have ever met. I have already said it all over my social media. I can only imagine what chaos Spanish added to their brains. As besides English as their main foreign language, they chose French or German or Chinese as their second one, and then they added Spanish as the third one. Truly wonder people, no doubt about it. Luckily, I had only two subjects to teach during my first semester, and I was on cloud nine as I had plenty of time to develop the curriculum, to get to know the university, to get used to teaching at the university, and to publish two articles. I was excited about the new semester. My colleagues helped me a lot during that time, so I was eager to try something new. But then came the burnout, right at the end of January, while I was trying to prepare and publish a new article. So, at the university, it is a requirement for every teacher to investigate some linguistic topics, some issues, to conduct a research and publish academic paper. But here's the thing, I don't have a knack for research, and that activity really pushed me to the edge. I was even thinking about quitting the job. But after every storm comes a rainbow, and mine eventually showed up too. So here I am, still talking to you about the university. But then a new semester brought a whole new wave of energy. First of all, I participated in two career guidance events representing my faculty of foreign languages. It was mesmerizing experience, but I was nervous. Again, nervous. I found out that I'm really bad at promoting something, and it was a huge step out of my comfort zone. Then, no matter how talkative and outgoing I am, I figured out that my mind still goes blank when I have to talk to an audience. But everything went well, at least my colleagues said so. But besides these events, I still had to teach. But this semester, I handled more than just English and Spanish. I had to supervise a lot. The first thing I supervised was the teaching practice for fourth year students at schools. So I observed three students while they gained their hands-on experience teaching young learners. It was a cool idea to offer my advice, to share my experience I gained in Belgium and in Ukraine. Then I offered my ideas, and I really enjoyed the lessons I attended. They were amazing. Then in May, I had another teaching practice. This time there were master students teaching English to my first year students. It was an interesting activity to perform, to supervise, as I had two ladies and they were completely different personalities, like obviously. One wasn't really into teaching, unfortunately, and hadn't had any prior experience, while the other one was so passionate and so excited about all the process about teaching English. She developed amazing lessons using a TBL approach and conducted it perfectly. That was a really rewarding experience for both of us. Then the last thing I had to supervise was course papers. So yeah, researches. I had a group that studied Spanish with me, but this time I had to oversee their course papers in English. So I created 6 topics connected to the theory of speech acts. I aimed to design interesting topics that would encourage them to study linguistics and to analyze it from interactive perspective without burnouts. And we did it, by the way. So they wrote interesting researches, they submitted the papers without burning out. But not only did I supervise all of that, I had 2 new subjects to teach. First up, English phonetics for the French department students. What was it? They have to choose English as their second language. Therefore, phonetics is a must. But it's a nightmare for me because English phonetics, seems illogical to me. And I tried to teach them some tricky sounds like th, schwa, other vowel sounds, some connected speech. But the icing on the cake was a shadowing practice of the poem Dearest Creature in Creation. Study English pronunciation. So if you want something to blow your mind, you should give it a try. So the other subject that I taught, again, phonetics, but this time Spanish. So this course is developed for those students who chose Spanish as their second foreign language. And this is the most rewarding and well-structured course I've ever had. I have ever had and I have ever taught. That is brilliant opportunity to cover every Spanish sound, to practice the right pronunciation, connected speech, intonation, and at the end of the course, I found interesting way to check their pronunciation. I found Ukrainian poems translated into Spanish and asked my students pronounce every sound correctly. It was a pleasure to listen to such interesting poems in such a beautiful language. So basically that's it. It has been a nice adventure, but I need to tell you that I have found the biggest source of my inspiration, my students. So they help me with everything. They help me overcome every hurdle we have, recover after burnout, climb every peak I set for myself, and finish this race with amazing feelings. So I already have some ideas how to keep them busy this summer. Hopefully they won't hate me for that. But at the same time, this journey wasn't just rewarding because of people that came into my life, but because of some self-discovery stuff. So first of all, I gained more confidence. Yes, I refreshed Spanish. I boosted my teaching skills and I have gained more knowledge about new teaching methods and new subjects. So thank you all for that. And but you know, I imagined if one day I could travel back in time and someone would ask me, would you like to work with us at the university, teach Spanish, but write researches? Without any doubts, I would still say yes. So no matter how much I dislike all that stuff, the people here, the colleagues, the students, they are the reason why I'm still here. So thank you guys for your support, for your guidance, for challenging me, for helping me, for hating me, for loving me, for everything. You are the fuel that keeps my engine running. And without you, it would be simply impossible. So thank you all for your support, for your warnings, for your examples, for your advice. It has been and it will be a pleasure to work with you. Also, huge thank you for watching this video till the end. It means a lot to me, and I know this is just a recap, a small summary of my year without any educational aim, but I have already prepared something more useful, more meaningful, so just stay tuned. I hope I will return quickly. So thank you all for your attention. See you soon. Bye bye.